Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so down here at the bottom left-hand corner of the map, Tal'Darim Altar, we have our red Terran player from the Team SCV Life. It is Polt. And his opponent here in the upper left-hand corner, our blue Protoss player, winner of the last 2 games, up 3-2 in this best of 9. It is Creator.Prime.
And I'm really excited to see what strategies Polt has prepared for this particular map. Like you said, Kevin, we could be seeing a little bit of cheese popping out of him, especially after he picked Sandstorm and Miss and then just wasn't able to get into his game plan. So we could be seeing mixing it up just a bit here, because he has spent now 2 games, possibly 3 in this series, but definitely 2, where he's just tried to out-macro his opponent, but he got caught off by a little bit of a timing.
That's right. You know, Creator certainly, shows the development of Creator, because a couple of months ago, I would say, as soon as, say, 3 months ago, Creator, if he didn't win with that big double Forge Colossus style, would have kind of floundered a little bit, would have looked a little unsure of himself. But he's won now with good times of aggression in both of the last 2 games. On Ohana with that 4-gate pressure off of 2 base. On the last map, on Sandstorm Miss with that Blink Stalker build. So I'm glad to see him really switching it up, because Polt had been doing a nice job of adjusting to that macro style, and now he's going to be forced to think on his feet again.
That's right. We'll wait and see exactly what both these players decide to go in just a moment. We do have the gas coming out from Creator.Prime, so no Nexus First or any interesting shenanigans like that. But once again, we have no gas coming out of Polt. So this is probably indicative once again of a 1-Rax FE. And on a map this large, okay, not quite as large as Atlantis Spaceship, but don't forget they can spawn in any location.
That's right.
So it'll take just a little bit longer to scout. You're just completely fine and completely normal. One thing to point out, though, even though this map is large, so it takes drops an awful long time to get there, at least there's a large amount of cliff.
Yes.
So that's going to mean that Creator will still be able to stop drops if he wanted to, but he has that much more surface area to patrol around to make sure that that doesn't happen. And especially since his third is close by air to Polt, that could play into Polt's hands if we get into a longer game. And
the spawn positions are very curious indeed. And once again, I have a theory that all players on a 4-player map like this tend to scout clockwise, and indeed it's happening, as Polt is going to find his opponent first, and Creator is going to take quite a while before he ever gets a hold of Polt. So it's going to keep Creator in the dark a little bit. Polt has a very good idea of what his opponent is doing, though. There is a Zealot popped out with a Stalker following this up.
Look at this. Creator, absolutely brilliant play there. He saw the SCV come in, and I think he saw the SCV come in via the left-hand side of the ramp or something with a unit that was going out, and immediately stops his probe from walking in before he even got to the main base on the right-hand side. So he knows you either came straight from cross spawns or from the bottom left.
Very neat.
Excellent.
So yeah, gets himself needs those little advantages as well, just to make sure he knows exactly where his opponent is at. So he's going to make his way back now down towards the bottom left-hand corner, where he will eventually find Polt. Polt once again going with a similar sort of strategy we saw in the last couple of maps. If this go around, if he double gasses again and goes for heavy Marines, I would be a little bit surprised. Creator, he's going to 4-gate.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, he didn't have a ton of Chrono Boost built up, but again, that may have just been a little bit of a way to feign his opponent there. And in fact, he does rush him with the Zealot, gets a little bit of damage done. Oh, but unfortunately has to watch out now. May lose both those units, has to back away.
Oh, and the Zealot not quite dying there. We do have the forward pylon now down for Creator.Prime.
Oh boy.
Pretty close to the ramp, and I wonder if Polt is going to be prepared for this. He does have the bunker set up, but he has not scouted the fort. In fact, he basically hasn't scouted anything at this point. I believe he got the initial scout in, but then left pretty quickly, and he has no idea this is going to be coming. So it looks like Creator going to be the first one to mix things up a little bit here with a somewhat one-base play. We'll wait and see if the 4-gate works.
And I'm a dirty liar. Before he did have plenty of Chrono Boost saved up, he had just expended most of it by the time we clicked on the Nexus. So my sincerest apologies for miscalling that. But yes, this is an incredibly quick 4-gate now. Already some units warping in outside of his opponent's base. What does Polt have prepared? Just one bunker full of injured Marines for now. He's going to need to pull some SCVs off the line very, very quickly.
And once again, SCVs might be the moral of the story here, Kevin, because it looks like they might not get pulled in time to save this bunker if there's no scouting coming out from Polt. He is completely oblivious to what's happening right now, and these Zealots are going to be a decent amount of meat, actually sending the injured one in first, but at least it has full shields. Another pylon getting put down so he can warp in units at the high ground eventually, and here we go. The attack is popped down. This time, Polt does get the repair off on the bunker, but oh my goodness,
no.
That was so close to being quick enough, but it wasn't in the end, and now SCVs and Marines going down left, right, and center. Creator, though, only down to Stalkers. He needs another warp in pretty darn quickly, and that's exactly what he gets. 3 more Zealots and a Stalker going to be warping in, tanking a little bit of damage here while the Stalkers do damage in the back. That's exactly what he needs right now. Polt forced to kite back, but of course the Stalker's able to start a step forwards as well and do an awful lot of damage in the meantime. Now we have an awful lot of SCVs being pulled off the line. Will it be enough to save him, though? But he might lose so many of them here that he can't come back in a long time. We'll have to see. A minimum of 7 SCVs going down in that in the last 10 seconds, but that does buy him enough time to get another bunker down. The problem is Creator.Prime now has warp-ins on the high ground.
That's right. He just walks around the outside now, starting to pick away at that orbital command, forcing a lot of those SCVs around. He's probably even going to have to flank with those and completely cut off the reinforcement path here in a second. And indeed, he is starting to move up now. Polt losing a couple of additional units, though, and that orbital command is forced away. He does have to repair that up. At the moment, he's almost on... He's actually down on workers to his opponent, but Polt, through all of this, has been losing a ton of mining time. As we can see, his income wasn't all that great there. So Creator can continue to try and do damage. He has effectively denied this base. We'll see if he wants to end the game now or if he wants to try and expand out of this.
You're absolutely correct, Kevin. The big problem now is that they're basically on equal mining, but with Creator, with these additional production structures, and just with the larger standing army, the SCVs are at least ready to repair that bunker. But we do now have a sentry in the mix as well, with a couple of force fields available. Let's wait and see what happens here. We even have a probe in the mix, and there we go. The bunker might... No, the bunker looks like it might stay alive for now, but now we have the Zealots targeting the bunker down. Will it be enough? I don't think it will be. And Creator.Prime here, possibly making a little bit of a blunder. I did not see a single force field to try and stop the SCVs repairing that bunker, and this is exactly what Polt needed to do in those previous 2 games where we gave him the cast of curse, Kevin, and he's doing it very brilliantly right now.
Yes, he is. Polt actually did an amazing thing in the middle of that. I don't know if anyone saw, but he actually targeted out with the bunker units the sentry that was sitting at exactly 6 range at the back of the Stalkers there, so he was able to pick that off before Creator was able to effectively use that, and that's essentially what's kept Polt alive so far, is that bunker was able to hold, and a ton of units have gone down.
This is Creator must be in a little bit of a difficult position here, because at the end of the day, even though Polt only now just getting his orbital command landed again, don't forget that orbital has been accruing energy. He'll have those mules available, and Polt is most definitely on the better economy despite losing those SCVs, simply thanks to those mules as well. So if Creator doesn't end the game with this particular push, we don't see a Nexus going down for him or anything, so he's not transitioning out of this. He really needs to win this particular engagement, otherwise he could be losing the game here. Here we go. The Zealot's now going to be moving in against the bunker. SCVs once again a little bit late to the party in terms of repair, but it looks like it's just going to be enough, and I think Polt is going to be able to hold this, and with that, the game.
GG.